Well, hello. Good morning. How's everybody feeling? I am feeling a little bit tired because I went to bed late. However, I don't feel sad or anything. Hi, Sharon. Hello. Good morning. I am feeling a little tired this morning. However, I don't feel sad or downtrodden. I just went to bed late and it's getting very cold here in Texas because cold to us is anything below 40. So it's getting very cold here in Texas, and that makes it a bit harder to wake up in the morning. So it's been a bit of a juggling act. My kiddo's also home from the holidays. And I don't mean that they live somewhere else. I mean, there's no school. So when there's no school, the routine is harder to sustain because it's just chaotic because there's no structure. And you do try to create some structure as a parent, but certainly you can't create structure for an entire 8-hour day for a 5-year-old. Like, they need some downtime because school is mentally taxing. So I think that, coupled with being at home for the holidays and just wanting to be cozy at home, just makes things a bit more harder to manage in terms of being strict, because when it's the holidays, I like to let my hair down. I don't like being a strict parent during vacation time. I like a little bit of balance. Like, yes, we're going to do a little bit of work and then we're going to do some relaxation. We're going to do some lounging. So trying to get that balance, stabilized is really the challenge. And it's a challenge that zodiac sign Libra can certainly relate to, right? Because balance is not something that once you've attained, it's just there. It is something that you have to constantly nurture and make peace with, and part of that balance, part of practicing that balance is recognizing when the scales are off. You know what I mean? When things aren't exactly the way that they should be because we're feeling overwhelmed, or we are forgetful, or we're tired, or maybe we're sad, or we're scared, or we just don't want to deal. Maybe we're just emotionally avoidant, or we abandon like the task at hand, or we've had enough. Sometimes we've had enough. Whatever that thing is, we've had enough of it. We just don't want to deal with it anymore. So I think a lot of times when it comes to gratitude, especially somebody who has a lot of Virgo placements in your chart, it can be hard to sustain that balance because the expectations that we place on ourselves are just not healthy. They're not normal. They're not attainable. They're not realistic. And Virgo hardly ever is aware of this habit that they have of creating expectations that are actually not sustainable long term, because they create those expectations from a really pure heart. It's from a desire to really want to be great, to really want to be the best, to really do a good job. Good morning, Miss Janvier. To really do an excellent job, to really be a high performer. Virgo is the only zodiac sign who brings their best to the table consistently, right? Some of the other ones bring their best too, but Virgo is the only one who consistently brings their best because they are concerned with the gaze. They're concerned with how others are perceiving them. What do other people think of them? So that enough motivates them to want to do their best, because a lot of times it's really about not being viewed negatively by others. So in that obsession with wanting to do their best, Virgo almost like loses sight of their own ability and their own reality and their own their own like honesty. You know what I mean? Because my best is not your best. Okay? And your best is not my best. And the point is, all of these best are still the best relative to who we are. So, in essence, balance requires truth and honesty. And it requires the ability to honestly take stock of who we are, what we bring to the table, what we can and cannot do. The issue with Virgo energy in this strive for perfection is that oftentimes perfection is defined through the lenses of another, through the gaze of another. The others get to tell Virgo, this is perfect, this is not perfect. And then Virgo becomes a slave. They become a slave to that feedback from others. And when they're in that state, there's no balance. Balance requires truth. Balance requires honesty. Balance requires me to look inside and go, back to the example I gave earlier, I'm the type of parent who likes for my kid to have fun. I think fun is important. As a Capricorn moon, I grew up with fun not being necessary. And it's not to say that I didn't have a lot of fun moments, but fun wasn't something that was prioritized in my home. You know, hard work was prioritized, productivity was prioritized. You know, having a spiritual life was prioritized. You know, a lot of heavy things were prioritized. You know, your relationship with God and the universe, you know, work, responsibility, discipline, excellent grades. All of those things I knew were very important, you know, but fun, being intentional about fun and having fun, no, that was not prioritized. So when I became a parent, I wanted to give my kid all the things that weren't given to me. And that's not to say that all those things aren't important. It's that the balance was off for me. It was heavy on the adult things and light on the fun things, the kid things, which is Leo energy. Leo is all about fun. Leo is all about passion. Leo is all about being lighthearted. You know, that's why Leo rules the fifth house, which is the house of children. See the coincidence here? Because children are supposed to have fun. That's who children are. They're perfect little angels. And I use angels not spiritually, but I mean like they're a clean slate spiritually. They're perfect little spirit beings with a clean slate that came from the divine to teach us how to have fun. That's what children are. And if you notice children, they literally spend their entire lives having fun. They're always wanting to play a game. They're always wanting to draw something. They're always wanting to do something. And unlike children, when we get older, we lose sight of the fact that we all are creators. And that's what I mean when I say you're a god and I'm a god. What I mean is that we all are creators. You're a creator and I'm a creator. That's what I mean by you're a god. A god is a creator, okay? Children love to make things. And when they make things, they're very proud of the things they make. And they love to show off the things they make. Children would draw a picture, however unattractive that picture may be to you. They would be like, look what I drew. Just like so proud, ready to show the world what they can do because they understand they're here to create something marvelous for the world. They get it. They get why they're here. We lose sight of that, but it's good to take the time to remember that balance is how we invite our manifestations in. Because balance is how we are supposed to live. All of us are supposed to constantly be in a state of balance. This universe is both light and darkness. That's balance. We would know light without darkness. That's balance. Male and female is what creates life. That's balance. We need balance, and we cannot have balance without truth. You know, we can't have balance without truth. Whenever we start to call the dark the light and the light the dark, we're no longer living in truth. Whenever we start to, sell our children a bill of good that isn't real by telling them that, hard work is fun, we're no longer living in truth. Truth is about being able to accurately assess who and what you are, what your gifts are, your spiritual gifts and your spiritual abilities, and honoring those throughout your journey. Truth is recognizing who you are and who you aren't, and making peace with who you are and who you aren't, and being okay with who you are and who you aren't, and presenting yourself as such, who you are and who you aren't, because it's only from that honest place that you can actually set goals, that you can actually assess how you did on those goals, and you can reflect on the progress that you're making. Truth is required for manifestation, but it's also required for spiritual development. Truth is being clear about what our intentions are in our relationships with others. It's being honest about that, and it's living that with them, in relationship with them. Truth is about knowing what our limitations are when we're starting a project. What can you do? What can you not do? What makes you comfortable? What's outside of your comfort zone? All of that requires truth. We cannot offer one another truth if we cannot offer ourselves truth, because truth is from God. Truth is what's real. In the end, truth is what's eternal. If we don't value these basic things, it's going to be hard for us to stay grateful. Let me give you an example. Let's say, I'll share something about me. I'm someone who really thrives with a routine. I know that's not something people associate with Sagittarius, but because I am a Capricorn stellium, I like consistency. I like routine. Capricorn is an earth sign. All earth signs like routine. And more importantly, I have my Mars in Virgo, and Virgo is the most obsessed with routines out of the entire zodiac. So me, with routines, I excel. I love routines. This is why I did really well in school as a kid. And when I went to college, same thing, because routines create a sense of stability for me, a sense of expectation that allows me to feel safe. And when I feel safe, I can thrive, because as earth energy needs to feel grounded, okay? Rooted. That's what I mean by safety. Routines make us feel rooted. And that sense of being deeply rooted is what we associate with safety, okay? So when I have a schedule, when I have expectations, when I have deadlines, I thrive, okay? You turn up the heat on me, that's when my most beautiful colors come out. You give me stress, you give me, pressure, yeah, thrive. That's when I do well. However, some of you are saying you too. So Sharon said me too, Sim 56, and Queen said me too. Yeah, all of us. By the way, I know the two of you rather intimately, and the three of us have similar upbringings, by the way. So there's a lot of that too in there. So routine is what I need, because routine and structure make me feel safe. It actually expands my abilities when I have it. Now, in the absence of routine and structure, my abilities depreciate. My ability to stay on task, my ability to do a good job, my ability to pay attention to the details, it depreciates. Is it still there? Yes. But is it still at the same capacity that it would have been at if I was waking up every day at the same time, having the same breakfast every day, creating the same routine for my day? No, absolutely not. And this is why a lot of you perceive Virgos to be inflexible and nitpicky, is because when you do the same thing every day, it's easy for you to notice what's outside of the norm, what falls out of place. If I do the same thing every day for 30 years, don't you think it would be easy for me to notice when something falls out of place? Of course, because your brain is hardwired to now notice what doesn't fit. It's like, which one of these is different? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. So back to honesty. I know this about myself, that I don't thrive well when there's no structure. So in chaotic environments, I tend to do well because I'm very good at bringing structure to chaos. And as a Capricorn stellium, I am a karmic. I was born into a chaotic family so that I could bring structure to that chaos. That is my spiritual gift. That's why I became a therapist. I'm good at bringing structure to chaos. That's my spiritual gift. So when I'm asked to bring structure to chaos, easy. When I'm given structure, easy. However, when there's no structure in my day and I have to create that structure myself, it's a bit more challenging. Like right now, my kid is out of school for the holidays. You know, my kid is 5, so this is not like an older kid. So there's still a lot of like baby-like behaviors in a 5-year-old. Like they're still learning how to tie their shoes, but they're very much so clear about who they are and what they will and won't accept, and very decisive. So on one hand, you have this boss that's very like, I know who I am. I'm not a kid. Don't tell me what to do. I know what I want to do. And then on the other end, you have this 5-year-old that's still like, but can you hold me? I'm scared. Can you walk with me to the bathroom down the hallway? Can you tuck me in? Can you stay here and just until I fall asleep? Can you know what I mean? So it's like both of these energies are at play, and developmentally, that's where they're supposed to be. So during this period of my life, when my 5-year-old is home from school, it's hard for me to stay structured, even though I'm still working and I'm trying to keep a schedule going with my work. Obviously, my kid is the most important work that I have to do, so that takes precedent. And everything else is secondary, but it's harder for me to prioritize everything else. So it's like I know what number 1 is, but what is number 2, 3, and 4? And it's a little wobbly. I'm not sure. And it shows in how my day runs. It's a bit because I also want my kid to have fun and I want them to have structure, but I don't want to be like militaristic where it's like, oh, you've got to do this, because it's important for me to allow them to have some element of chaos because life is chaotic. Okay? Life is not routine all the time. Those of us that are able to function are those of us that have the ability to create routine in the chaos. And it doesn't always have to be at 100%, but it has to be to the level where we're not self-destructive, because that's what allows us to be efficient with the world. So I give that as an example to say, I am aware of my limitations, that when there is no structure, when I have to create it for myself, and especially when my child is involved, it's very hard for me to find that balance. It's very hard for me to find that balance between working mom and being a mom when my kid is here 24/7. It's simply hard because on one hand, I want to be there for all of their breathing moments. But on the other hand, I also have other responsibilities that I need to attend to that require me to behave as if they were not here with me. And it's difficult. It's a balancing act. Sometimes the balance is off. Sometimes you strike it just right. But it's never going to be just right all the time. Sometimes it goes like this, and other times it's like that. And you're constantly in this kind of pursuit to try to aim for the middle section where it's perfectly balanced. So it's constant work and it doesn't stop. And it's all about evolving and growing and learning from yesterday and tomorrow trying to do better. But it's never perfect. And that was never the goal. That's truth. That's what I mean. I know this about myself. I know my abilities. I know what I can and can't do, and I hold myself to the standard that I can live up to. I do not hold myself to a standard that is beyond my abilities and my limitations. The truth that I'm speaking of requires that we be able to look at both our greatness and our shortcomings, both our light and our darkness. And that is where we're the best able to manifest, when we're sitting in this place of acceptance of all that we are. So gratitude to me is about acceptance of life as is, because we accept ourselves as we are, and we give thanks for who and what we are and where we've been, because we're not at war. We're not in a spirit of deception. We're at peace because we've accepted the truth. The truth is, I'm an imperfect human being who's striving to be a great spirit. That's what the truth is. And sometimes I fall short, and sometimes I exceed expectations. I am both those people. the person that likes chaos and the person that likes structure. I'm both of them. I accept them both. They're both inside of me. People that are excellent manifestation are people that know when they need to energetically will chaos and manifest it in the environment to create great change, and when they need to energetically will structure and manifest it in the environment to create great change. People that are able to shift and move around energetically are people that are the best manifestors, because they know that various situations require different energies. This is why Libra is one of the best manifestors in this universe, because as represented by the scales, Libra fully understands balance. This is why water signs, some of the best manifestors in the universe, because being skilled with the gift of sensitivity, they can feel when the energy in the room is shifted. They can energetically feel it. Pisces can feel it spiritually even. So gratitude is not just about I'm thankful for the good things in my life. It's also I'm thankful for the things that derailed. I'm thankful for the things that hurt me. I'm thankful for the things I couldn't control. I'm thankful for the chaos, because it taught me about my ability to find structure, or it completely pulverized me so that I learned just how much chaos is too much chaos. Because how else am I supposed to know how much chaos is too much chaos until I'm put in the situation where there's too much chaos and it drives me batshit insane? I wouldn't have known that. Now I know what my boundaries are because I haven't been in too much chaos. So I'm thankful for all the things that went wrong that hurt me. I'm thankful for all the things that went wrong that broke me down to my essence. I'm thankful for all the things that went wrong that helped me redefine myself. I'm thankful for all the things that went wrong that taught me that I'm a warrior and that I'm indestructible and that I can claw my way out of any hell that I ever find myself in. I'm thankful for that hell. I'm thankful for that stress. I'm thankful for all of that damage, because it showed me that I can heal myself and that I am resilient, and that yes, I may get hurt and I may feel like I'm broken, but I'm never truly broken if I'm still alive. I just have wounds that need healing. Scorpio 56 says, everything moves us to greater understanding of ourselves. Exactly. And it's not just the good stuff. And I say good in quotations, because if I'm being honest with you, there's nothing that I ever learned from life when everything went well. Okay, so I say good like this, because the experiences in life that have brought me the most good have been some of my worst experiences, because those are the ones that really taught me the shit I needed to know about myself and about other people. Because until those experiences, I was in denial. I was living in la la land about who I am and who other people are. But when these bitter, dark experiences came, it's suddenly the rose-colored glasses fell off and I could see my real self and I could see the real them. If it wasn't for those experiences, I would still be in la la land. So good, we often associate with easy, but easy is not where we get weapons. We want spiritual weapons, because spiritual weapons is how we become spiritual warriors, which is what we want to be. The people that are the best spiritual manifestors are the spiritual warriors, because they can fight off any attack. We want to be spiritual warriors. In order to be the best warriors, we need weapons. You only get spiritual weapons when you go through war, when you have to show up and fight. If all you have is nice and easy and there's no war, you're not getting anything new added to your belt. There's no accomplishments. There's no notches of vigor, victory. There's nothing new being added to your consciousness, to your reality, to your evolution. We're here to evolve, all of us. It's about growth. And it's about living with intention so we can grow as human beings, spiritually, mentally, emotionally and physically. That's what it's about. So this morning, let's give thanks for all of the things that went wrong in our lives and all of the things that brought us great pain and great understanding. Because if it wasn't for those things, we would still be the same delusional people that we were before. Okay? So let me go ahead and transition to our meditation. Thanks so much for coming and meditating with me this morning. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate this time that we have together. Scorpio 56 says, thank God for the battles, even when the battles don't feel good at the time. Exactly. Thank God for all the battles. The ones we lost, the ones we won, and the ones we barely made out of. The ones we barely survived. Let's be grateful for all of them because they molded us and gave us a backbone. And we're grateful for them because they prepared us for the next ones. Because the battles never end. There's other ones coming. They're always coming. That's the whole point. We're just supposed to be stronger and better every time, so we're able to take them out quicker, faster, more efficiently. That's the goal, to be a sniper, not to be wasting our energy doing a lot of things that don't work. I love being a spiritual sniper, and I'm sure you do too, Scorpio 56. You just want one strike and take it out because you know who you are and you know who they are and you know what the environment is and you know what you can and can't do. You figure it out a lot quicker the more battles you have to go through. So let me go ahead and transition, and thanks again for being here with me.